Welcome back to the Shipmates podcast.
Episode 6,
Episode 6, 7? 6.
6, I think.
6. No, I think 7.
Okay, well,
Who
you'll
knows?
know this.
Let
It'll
us
be
know in the
title.
comments. My name is Luke Osey. I'm joined by Cameron Gibson, and this is the Shipmates podcast. We both work on a magic show, which is a resident show on a cruise ship. Now, I got in trouble for mentioning exactly what cruise ship and exactly what show by Cameron, not by anyone official. Yeah. I'll keep it anonymous so no one knows.
Definitely don't watch the start of the last episode to find out.
Don't do that. You have to put up with our faces to actually work out where we work for.
Yeah.
Anywho, what a couple of weeks.
Well, we've been a bit late with this podcast,
We
I think. Usually we try to do one a week, but it's just been kind of chaos, to be honest, recently. We've just done a lot.
We actually, even today, we just did a show.
We just did a show. We just finished a show. Not our show.
Yeah.
The Welcome Aboard show. We're at the first day of our Christmas cruise at the moment.
Yeah, Christmas pod coming soon.
Yeah, so our next episode will be a Christmas special. But they do a show at the start of every cruise, every long cruise, longer than 7 days.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a taster of all of the entertainment in their cruise. And we do a little act in it. And it went pretty well tonight.
It really did. I think it was very good, considering we haven't done it in yonks.
Yeah, like since our last contract, yeah.
Yeah, ages ago. I think it went very well. Should we crack open a bev?
Yeah.
Okay. I brought you...
Okay.
I have a mystery bev, but I'm going to save it for a little bit further into the pod.
So having a beer?
Yeah, I've got PB, or I've got
VB.
a VB in a can. This is a hot.
You only got one?
I've only got one. I don't want it, so you can have it.
Is it cold?
Yeah, ice cold.
Yeah, give me this.
Crack into it. And I've got a pure blonde for myself.
For the non-Australian.
Can I have your cold pure blonde?
Yeah, you can.
Well, I don't know if your one's any colder.
It's got the dew on the glass, mate.
Look at that. Oh my god.
For the non
what?
Dew. The non-Australians here, VB and AB.
Victoria MB.
From
MB
Melbourne
bidders. Victoria bidders.
It's sort of the local. I think it's like the local ship beer race, basically.
Yeah.
It's like the local tenants.
Yeah, right. If you're from Edinburgh or the local.
If you're from
Carlsberg, I guess. If you're
is that the English version of tenants?
Carlsberg's pretty shit.
Yeah, well, English people are pretty shit.
Yeah, all right, okay.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. Oh. I am an absolute fiend for a pure blonde.
Pure blonde's unreal. We talked about pure blonde in the past.
We did, and we're not going to talk about it again.
Yeah.
But let me just give you the highlight reel, the TLDR. These things are fantastic. 86 calories per beer, 0.7 grams of carbs. That's unreal. There's no carbs.
No carbs, no calories.
I burn calories drinking this.
Literally. That's great.
Yeah, good beer. A lot has happened on the ship. We actually today had a medical evacuation.
Yeah, man.
How wild is that?
It happens, but not very often.
Yeah, especially not 4 minutes into the cruise.
Yeah. So we weren't there because we were rehearsing for our show. But what we heard is someone just sort of collapsed and got taken into medical literally about 20 minutes after we left the port for a week-long cruise. So 20 minutes out of 7 days, and had to be evacuated. They had to be airlifted
got
to helicopter to hospital.
Didn't get to see it because we were rehearsing, obviously.
We didn't get to see it. I have seen it happen before on this ship, though.
Yeah.
And I have to say, always really, I was very impressed with that.
Yeah.
It's like it is like a well-oiled machine when something like that happens. Like everyone knows what they're supposed to do. Happens very quickly. I think the captain today dealt with it really well.
Yeah.
He gave everyone lots of detail. And if I was a passenger, a guest, I'd be reassured by that fact.
Yeah. I felt safe.
Yeah.
I felt like they knew what they were doing, and actually it was although not how you want to start a cruise, it was a strong start to put you into like, these guys know what they're doing.
Yeah. And also, I'm going to give a quick shout out to the resident cast on board as well, because we were doing a rehearsal.
Oh my gosh.
And they were doing a singing and dancing number on stage, rehearsing it. So the only people in the room were the technicians, production boys, the cast on stage, cast of 10 of them, and the 5 in our show who were sitting in the audience. And the captain's announcement came about 30 seconds into one of their numbers.
Yeah. Worth noting that overrides anything going on a ship. So any music. It happened in our show before.
Any other shows, any other announcements or anything. The captain's announcement plays through every speaker on the ship, basically. And the lead singers just kind of continued. The dancers just continued, and they all sort of were kind of keeping time, keeping beat, and taking the odd cue from some lights changing. And the captain's announcement wasn't short. I reckon 3 minutes.
Yeah, it was
like
long.
a 3-minute long announcement. And then at the end of it, they're still singing to the music. The music comes back on. They're in the exact right spot.
Perfect timing.
Like Dan, the singer, just continues on. And actually they kind of got distracted by the fact that they nailed it so bad.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
We're in the audience like, my God.
Shout out to the cast. You're all friends of the pod.
Yeah, all friends of the pod.
I'm not going to name them all, but you know who you are. You're all friends of the pod. So I've got a few things on my list of notes. I thought I'd kick things off with a cruise ship-based thing. You will know I get my hair cut on the ship.
Yes.
By a man on the M1.
The M1 cut.
The M1 cut. The M1 is the little sort of river? No.
Secret passage.
Secret passage, yeah. Where we go and there's people cutting hair. Now, my guy, Rom, friend of the pod, well, my friend of the pod,
Rom.
he's left.
He's left already?
He left today.
He's leaving, yeah.
Absolutely sucks, but I got a trim just before he left because I knew he was leaving. And he did an absolutely fantastic job. And he told me.
Oh.
He told me the ins and outs of how it all works.
What, the noodle man?
No.
Ah.
Although I do have shit on that, but
okay.
We'll get to that later.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, we will talk about it. But the haircut man,
okay,
the haircut man, he tells me that HR deals with the rotation, and they actually have a rotation, so only like 3 of them are allowed to cut hair at once.
So the barbers, the onboard bootleg barbers, are somewhat like managed and.
Apparently, there's 8 on.
8.
Right now. There's 8 barbers, and they rotate. Well, they are up to 8 or so. And he said it was much better when it was like actually a bit more underground. Someone would just call you or page you, and you go to their room, put a sheet down. He said that was a lot better because you get to work more, but it takes up more setup. But that guy flies through haircuts. He's cutting 5 people's hair a night.
Yeah,
when he does it.
I did notice yesterday. It makes sense he left today because I noticed yesterday. Excuse me. He'd set up really early. Yeah, but he was there all day. Yesterday.
He's trying to get cuts as many as he can.
Get his $10.
Yeah, I actually gave him 20 because I'm a nice guy. But and it's worth it. He gave me a good cut that I paid like $60 for my man. So I don't see why not. But yeah, that is my little insight on that.
That's good. It's interesting.
I've got a really fun game for you.
Yep, let's do it.
We've worked together for a couple of years.
We have, yeah. Unfortunately for me.
Did you know that I've been doing magic since I was like 8 years old. And I did the odd couple of shows for charity when I was like 10, 12 years old.
I'm quite excited for this.
I used to have a stage name.
Can I guess it?
Yeah.
Your name's Luke. Every magician that's ever had a stage name as a kid is Luke Closely.
No, I don't know. That's a great name.
I know like 10 Luke Closely.
Oh, that's a great name. No, it was not Luke Closely.
Luke over there?
Luke, no, it wasn't Luke over there. I think you're going down the wrong path.
Okay. That's enough. I was so.
I'll tell you one of my potentials. Okay. I didn't go with Lucchini. And then someone pointed out it's a bit too close to Lucchini. So I didn't go with that.
Yeah.
Lucchini.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Boom, dove.
It was not Lucchini. I'll give you a clue. The first 2 letters are the same. So it starts with L-U.
L-U?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Literally.
Lumos.
Is that because you like Dynamo and Dynamo is like the...
I think it's because at the time when I was getting magic, Dynamo was like really cool and it was a word and it was this whole like, you should have one word like every good, you got like Troy, Dynamo, Ben Hanlon. No, no, but at the time you had these magicians with these like one name things. I was like, I've got to have
meant
that.
something like kind of dynamic or whatever.
Yeah, so I had Lumos. It means like you light up the room. Yeah. Right? Lumos. Not still using that. But I do still have a flight case that has it spray painted on.
I'm glad for both of our sakes, actually, since we work together so much, that you're not called Lumos. But I do know what I'm going to call you in our next curtain call.
Brilliant. Yeah, I love that.
Actually, I need a list because there was another one I came up with.
So for context, at the end of every show, we have a curtain call, and sometimes Cameron will say something wildly not appropriate about me. At the end of the show, it might be something I've told him in confidence that he'll then scream out to 400 people, or just anything he wants to read. And I kind of, I've just sort of given up with it.
It's almost always true, though. I say. In fact,
yeah. I'm not ready to talk about bananas on the podcast yet, except my parents listen to it.
No.
I'm sure my grandparents listen to it.
But we should talk about another fruit. So one of our commenters on TikTok recently pointed out that we haven't talked about...
What a segue.
Unreal. Slid in. Somebody on TikTok recently commented that we haven't broached a very popular subject on cruise ships, which is the upside down pineapples. Now, if you've ever been on a cruise ship before, you probably know this. But if you have and you don't know this, I'm about to change your whole world.
Yeah.
So you know it. Yeah, of course, you know this.
Yes.
Yeah. If pineapples, specifically upside down pineapples, are the cruise ship symbol for swingers.
Not just cruise ships. Worldwide. People have necklaces with upside down pineapples, and if you see that out in public, look out for it, because that means they're a swinger. Upside down pineapple.
Specifically popular on cruise ships, I think.
Very popular. A lot of swingers go on cruise ships, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's just because you've got lots of people in close proximity. But these people are also not shy about it either.
No, when we get them up on stage, we make jokes about like, oh, I bet you got a pineapple on your door.
Like,
and they'll say, yes.
Yeah, I do.
Yes, I have.
Come talk to me after.
Yeah, which is wild. Or they'll tell you, they'll be like, oh, so like, a lot of couples when they're at a bar, sort of sitting, looking people, or they wear
like
they wear a
colourful shirts that have pineapples all over them,
or a little necklace or like a little brooch or something, or little things. But,
and the most common one is to have an upside down pineapple, like a picture or an ornament stuck to your cabin door, like effectively your hotel room door.
Yeah.
And lots of the onboard comedians make jokes about this, and they say, "Does anyone know what the pineapples are?" And then half the room says yes, half the room says no. And they say, "Well, if not, next time you pass a cabin with a pineapple on the door, knock on the door, you'll make a new friend."
Yeah, simple as that.
Yeah,
that's what the upside down pineapples mean. Swingers.
Swingers. Yeah, lots of them.
If you were going on a cruise as a guest, would you put a pineapple on your door?
Do you know what? I think I would just
to see
even just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Like I just want to.
You've got a peephole. That's the right way to do it. Not knocking on someone's door. The right way to do it is to have the pineapple. You have a little peek. And if they're a munter,
I think that's what. I think genuinely that's what happens. I think they do have a little peek and then just not today.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just a case of if you knock, you're invited in immediately to get down to it. But I think if I was a passenger, I'd put one on my door, just for the stories, and just to see what happens from that side of it. Because
there was one on your door for ages. I put on there.
Yeah, well, so obviously my cabin's in the crew area though, and so everyone knew that was like
a joke.
Like it was ironic.
It was a laser cut wooden pineapple, really cool. Actually.
Yeah, it kept falling off and bits kept.
I know, it's a shame. Yeah, it was really. It was by the end of it, it was just a bristle.
Yeah, basically it was. It was just actually the I was about to call it the apple part of the pineapple, which doesn't make sense. But you know exactly what I meant when I said that.
Well, the pine is the pine.
That's wild. What? Yeah, the pine's the
stalky bit.
Crazy.
That's wild. I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Baked beans.
What about them?
Are they baked? I thought about this the other day, and it really boots me up. Like, is there someone? Do they put them in the oven? Or is the baking bit you cooking them on a hob? How wild's that?
That's actually
because a kidney bean, you just have it raw, and that's a similar texture.
It's the same texture, yeah. They're berlotti beans, is that right? Baked beans?
I've got no idea.
Or I think it's berlotti beans. I could be wrong.
But yeah, are they baked? Or is the baking?
I don't know.
It's like such a shower thought the other day.
Did I ever tell you the story about an ex-girlfriend of mine and the baked beans?
You did.
I did.
The ski jacket.
The ski jacket. So I had an ex-girlfriend at university. Well, she was my girlfriend at the time. And she had what my roommate later told me was legumophobia, which is
also, can I just specify, my ex also had that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't let me eat beans in front of her.
Legumophobia, the fear of a legume. But specifically, it was baked beans, yeah. So she was terrified of baked beans. And when we dated, I didn't think it was that big a thing. Like, I didn't realize it was a real fear until we went on a ski holiday once, a university ski holiday. And I, for a practical joke, bought a hermetically sealed can of Heinz baked beans, and I put them in her ski jacket pocket. When she put her hand in her pocket, she found them, freaked out, screaming, crying, like absolutely launched them down the slope, like freaked out, took her jacket off, and refused to wear that jacket ever again. I'm not joking. She had to switch ski jackets with one of our other friends forever because these sealed I didn't like pour them on her head.
Where'd the can go?
Into the ether. It's still there to this day.
Launched over. That is crazy. Yeah, so my ex, she used to make me like brush my teeth if I'd eaten beans. Which I actually, funny enough, if I'm dating someone that's not vegan, if they eat meat, like immediately before I'm with them, I'll say, "Oh, do you mind brush your teeth?"
I'm the same about that. It's a bit weird.
It's because I don't want to taste chicken or
chickeny stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, she used to I couldn't eat them in the room. Like if I wanted beans for breakfast, I had to go into a lounge or something and eat them. Oh, what's that?
Legumophobia, man. It's weird. Like, I don't have any real fears other than possibly like some existential ones, like the fear of failure.
Yeah, I've got a lot of little icky ones. Like, I don't like banana if it's not
on your dick.
No, I don't like banana if it's not like in a banana form. Like there's a little bit of banana mush on the floor or something that fucking creeps me out. Glitter, not a fan of glitter.
We talked about this like in 4 podcasts.
Yeah,
now.
I found out that the New Year's Eve theme is glitter.
Oh yeah, true.
So I'm not. I would like to be there.
This is actually something I saw on another podcast recently, just on the subject of bananas. You know how people hate the artificial taste of banana, but not real bananas.
I actually quite like the artificial taste.
But apparently the reason for that is because that's based on what bananas tasted like 30 years ago. And because bananas have been so genetically modified since then, they taste completely different.
That's wild.
So if you time traveled, got a banana from like the 80s or 90s,
It's like, shit.
it would taste like what we think is artificial banana.
That's crazy.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I think it was like Richard Osman podcast or something.
Fact check. Oh, it's
yeah, it was like one of
yeah.
those people, or like Neil deGrasse Tyson or something. He's like, oh, space, also bananas.
Yeah, that is wild.
Yeah.
Do you want to have a little bit of a brain rot conversation about Tuah Coin?
Yeah, I know you've done
I've done so much research.
I only know
on
the
this.
basics of Tuah Coin.
All right, this isn't getting clipped or posted anywhere.
Let's make it quick.
Okay. Well, I've got a lot to say about it.
Okay, we'll speed run the lot to
Are
say.
you familiar with Hayley Welsh?
I didn't know her name, but I assume it's Tuah Girl.
Yeah, so Tuah Girl, the one with the podcast, Talk to Her. Did you know that?
I didn't know she had a podcast now.
There's a
But everyone's
podcast.
got a podcast these days.
do.
Every Tom, Dick, and Harry just starts a random podcast for no reason.
And that interviewer must be pissed. The guy that interviewed her, like no one knows, but everyone knows her for basically talking about spitting on someone's cock. Wild, man, isn't it?
What a thing to be known for.
So she set up her own currency. How crazy is that?
Yeah,
Did you invest?
absolutely not.
Okay, well, I lost 10 grand.
Yeah.
I'm such a type of person
Yeah,
to
you
invest
are,
in that for a
absolutely.
joke. But the other day, someone, a friend of the pod, Aaron, we were in Crew Bar, and he just said, "Oh, you should." I can't believe I took financial advice
Yeah.
from a guy that
I was gonna
drinks
say,
like 12
I
beers
really-
a day.
I really like Karen, but if he gave me financial advice, I would do the opposite. I would
Should we see what
intentionally
it's
do
on?
the opposite.
See if Aaron's made me any money. I put £200 into Ripple, and actually the other day it did go up to 220, and it's currently it's down £3. But that's
Nice.
that's fine. That's to be expected.
That's not bad.
I remember actually when I bought it immediately, I was like, and I've lost £5. Back to Tuah Coin. So she made a meme coin, right? Cryptocurrency meme coin, which means like if you don't know what cryptocurrency is, just skip forward 5 minutes.
I don't really get what a meme coin is. Is it just like a fake?
It's like a coin for a joke, isn't it? Like Dogecoin was like sort of the original meme coin. It's like making a coin to take the piss out of currency,
Right.
basically.
But is this okay?
It's still a currency.
Yeah, yeah.
It still stands. And basically what happened was she told all of her people, let's all invest in this. And she said, I'm not allowed to buy any until like a little bit further down the line, whatever. Anyways, about 2 hours into launch this coin, I think it got to a market capital of 2 million, or maybe like something, I could be completely wrong. I think actually maybe a little bit more. And then the majority shareholder just sold all of it. So it just tanked to absolutely nothing. So people lost like thousands.
Yeah.
But the argument is a little bit of a philosophical argument, if you will. Did the people that invested in it deserve to lose the money?
No, not philosophical at all. Yes, they did. If you're going to invest in that, you should expect to lose all your money. I have no sympathy
Yeah, I
for
mean,
those people.
you always say like if you're investing in something like crypto or something as volatile as that, you should only put in money that you're willing to lose.
Yeah.
And in this situation, it was literally
That's
stuffing your
gambling.
money. I like, yeah.
For sure.
But what's wild is someone, a big crypto guy, I can't actually remember his name, doesn't matter. But CoffeeZilla, I believe, and he called out
His real name.
Yeah, he called out Hayley Welsh on X's sort of Clubhouse thing, like the
Right.
live podcasting thing. They're having a chat about it, called her out on it. And after an hour or so of talking about it, and they're like, I just can't believe you literally steal money from that many people. She said, anywho, I'm getting a little bit tired now, so I'm going to go to bed. Good night. And left. And there's not really been anything more on it now. I think there's some court cases going on of people that invested like 50k in it that obviously want their money back.
Yeah. I mean, the world's just fucked, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
it really is.
That's if you're expecting your money back after investing in a girl who his entire character trait is saying that she spits on penises before giving head.
Yeah.
Then I'm not saying that's a bad character trait to have.
Yeah.
Sorry, mum. But
So between me and you, how much did you actually lose on Tuah Coin?
I'm not a fucking idiot.
Cameron, I'm so bankrupt. I'm so
Did you
fucked right now.
actually?
I can't pay my taxes.
Did you
next
actually
year.
invest in it?
I lost so much
You're
money.
kidding.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's funny.
You had me for a second. I thought you might have.
Have you got any points?
Oh, do I ever?
I've still got more, but I'm saving them. I'm letting you have a
Yeah, I've got
time.
loads. This is a fun one that I was reminded about this morning, actually. And so today's a turnaround day. We just started a new cruise. And every morning of a turnaround day, they get the passengers off very, very early because they have to clean the whole ship, turn over all the cabins, and get the new passengers on board.
Yeah.
And it's like 7 a.m. it starts, maybe even earlier, 6:30.
The music? 6 a.m. it starts.
6 a.m.
Yeah.
You were in a guest cabin.
I was in a guest cabin.
So
Mate.
but one of the ways they do this, and they make sure that everyone gets out of their cabins and leaves the ship in time, is at 6 a.m. on the nose, they blare music in the cabins. But not just any music. They play the song Hit the Road Jack.
They play actually a playlist of songs, but all of the songs are along that
they're all
theme
themed
of get the fuck out of my cabin.
Yeah. They're not just random songs, they're all themed of leave.
Yeah, get out.
That's hilarious.
And it's when I say it's blaring, so there's a big old Bose speaker in each cabin, and you think like, wow, surround sound, is that plugged into TV? No, its only purpose is to get people out.
You out on turnaround
literally
day.
To get people out. It's horrific.
And for the first few months on the ship, on turnaround day when we leave to get off and go and enjoy our day in the city, you hear the music playing in the cabins as you walk past. You just think, oh, nice hotel music.
Yeah.
And you don't realise that it's been playing for hours on repeat to kick everyone out. It's like an anti-social behavior management device.
But it works.
It does work, man.
It really works. You know, like when people do kick around, when people stay until like 9 a.m., they get like, what are you still doing here?
Yeah.
9 a.m., that's crazy. That's still early.
And they don't stay in their cabins, that's for sure. They're in the public areas because Hit the Road Jacks on repeat.
You also get a knock on your door, I think, at like 7:30 a.m.
Right.
If you're not out your cabin yet, it's like, that's a firm.
Yeah.
I think you get called first.
Yeah.
And then you get a little knock on the door from housekeeping, or the housekeeping manager, actually.
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah, absolutely wild.
That's an interesting thing.
Do you want a little halftime treat?
Let's do a halftime treat.
Okay. I've brought 2 things with me for a little halftime treat. I asked you to bring a cup.
Yeah.
I brought you a present, Cameron.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I did.
Really?
I brought you. Can you guess what this is by a little smell?
You put it in my coffee cup for me.
Yeah, I did. It's the start of an Irish coffee.
Oh, it's Jameson.
It is. Great guess. It is
I love
Jameson.
Jameson.
I got it from Crew Bar. I got myself one as well. A little shot of Jameson. Lovely stuff. And I also brought pickles.
Pickles. We've been talking about picklebacks for a couple of weeks now, actually.
We really have. We've been looking forward to it for quite a while.
Yeah.
I thought we could do a pickleback, but then you've made the point. You're going to make the
All right, I'll be honest with you guys. That's the second take we did of that bit. So I just acting.
Yeah.
What
is this? What is that, Jameson?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But we don't have another vessel to pour the pickle brine into. So I thought we could just.
We'll mix it in the cups.
We're just going to mix. Does that work? I always want to make sure it's.
Well, I think the point of the pickleback juice is to be a chaser.
And it releases
cleans
the
your
palate.
Cleans?
Well, why don't we? I tell you what. Why don't?
I don't really know.
Well, if we.
A few minutes later.
Bad idea. No, Joe, it doesn't smell. Right.
Yeah, it's not bad actually.
Do you want a pickle?
Kind of do actually. Yeah.
I don't think I've had a pickle in ages or so raw. Okay. So I'll put in your.
Maybe
Yeah. All right. I'll do it.
it's not
Okay.
bad.
That's enough, isn't it?
A
little bit more?
Yeah. It's a shot.
It's a
It's a
shot.
shot. Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
There you go.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. Shame we can't have them together, really, isn't it? How was that?
Absolutely phenomenal.
Was it? I'm so excited for this. This is such like a burger joint.
Yeah.
When was the first time you had one?
A pickle joint. A pickleback.
Pickle joint. I want to smoke on them.
Well, I lived in Canada for a while. For those of you that don't know, which is anyone that just doesn't know me, because everyone knows me, knows I mention it quite a lot. And they're big in Canada among the bartenders, and I used to work in a bar as well. So,
especially if the place serves like burgers or something, so they've got pickles. Right?
Yeah. It's not the nicest pickle juice in the world, but it does the job, and it actually very nice.
Lovely.
Unreal.
It really kills the burn. If you haven't had one of these,
Yeah.
delve into your parents' cupboards.
Yeah.
Kids.
Order at a bar. Most bars will do a pickleback for you. And actually, because it's quite a bartendery thing.
They might have one with you.
Huh?
They might have one with you if you have one.
Yeah, yeah.
Buy them one.
Buy
Tell
them
me you found out about it on the shipmate. Would you like a pickle? I feel a weird thing about eating on podcasts.
I do, but I don't really want to just scrounge a pickle right now.
I'm going to scrounge a pickle.
All right,
This is great
okay,
audio
sure.
content.
Well,
You take yours first.
Well, if you're going to do it, then I mean.
I'll tell you one thing for free. I'm not going to be eating these pickles. Like, these were purely for the pickleback content.
How did this pickle even get in the... Oh, fuck.
Oh, you pickle. Right, okay. Good pickle?
They're not the greatest pickles I've ever had, I'll be honest. Not very pickled.
Oh,
Very sweet. They're sort of gherkins. They're not... Pickles aren't...
It's just sweet.
Check that.
Have you enjoyed that audio content, folks? That was
Pickleback.
pickleback time.
I'm just finishing my halftime pickle.
Yep.
I got another question.
Do you want to finish eating first?
Nope. I got another question this week.
Yep.
From one of my friends that actually works on another ship. I'm going to let you answer this. And they asked, well, I've changed the question slightly, but they asked them, do crew on board a cruise ship pay for their internet?
Yeah, it actually really varies from ship to ship. Virgin, you don't pay at all. Richard Branson, he's got it right. He says that internet is a basic right, which I believe as well.
Yeah, it's like a modern human right, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So you don't have to pay if you're working on Virgin. If you're working on Princess or what's that handy on it? Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, one of our friends on Royal Caribbean said that he is paying like pretty much full price for his internet as a crew member.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a guest
not cheap
entertainer
either.
though.
It's hard to tell. And then we pay $2 a day. We pay £1 a day, which is fine. I can
$2
live with that.
Australian dollars a day.
That's less than what I pay for my Wi-Fi back home. So
It's about what you pay for your phone contract.
yeah,
So it does add up, but you know, it's satellite internet, so it is expensive for them to run, and $2 a day for the privilege is not like it's just a no-brainer.
I'd pay $2 a day to use the internet. You know,
Oh, for sure.
like, which I do.
But
yeah,
yeah, that's what I mean.
No, but like I wouldn't be, even if I was a really stingy person, I would be like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
going to save my money. And also some crew members, what they do is they actually share the login. So if it's like a couple or something, just one of them will have Wi-Fi and they'll be like, oh, do you mind if I use it for now? And then they'll just sort of alternate.
The other thing is, I don't know how it works on other ships, but on our ship, you can only have one device connected to the Wi-Fi at any one time.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's the biggest nightmare of it all.
So
I would
annoying.
actually pay $4 a day to be able to have two devices connected. So what that means is, obviously when you're at sea, you don't have phone signal, so you can't receive messages or anything like that on your phone unless you're connected to the Wi-Fi. So if you want to sit in your cabin and watch a movie on Netflix and stream, which the internet is good enough to stream, you can't also be on your phone and message. You have to make a decision, one or the other. And it's difficult, I think. I mean, for me to work, for example, so I do we both do other bits and pieces out here. In the modern world, loads of things are two-factor authenticated, and trying to get those codes sent to you while you've got to log out of one, log into the other, and it's like 6 clicks and a username and a password and all sorts.
I've actually really been struggling with paying my accountants recently because their invoice, what I need to do is like screenshot, but their invoice is online.
Right.
And I can't really download it. So I should be able to screenshot it, but even like the thought of having to load it up
and move
to
back,
like instead of just getting up on whatever.
Yeah. So the internet on the ship is actually very good considering we're in the middle of the sea.
Yeah, I think yours is somehow better than mine. My connection is never very good. I can stream stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, so that's good, isn't it? On Netflix or whatever. That's good enough.
Mine's fine. It's just you can only be on one device, and we do pay for it a little bit, but
Yeah.
not as much as passengers.
Nowhere near as
Internet. If you're a passenger on a cruise ship, internet is extortionate. I don't actually know what it is here. I think it's like $40.
I think it's something.
A day
I
or
feel like
something.
it's $27 a day.
Right, so that's like £13
a day.
a day.
And you know what? If I was a passenger, I'd still pay
I'd
it.
pay it.
Because why not, right?
2024, you want to be able to.
I guess you have port days, so it's only sea days you need to pay for it, but still. Well, actually, no, because you get a discount for the more days, but so people don't do that.
I should do it for the week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a shame. Not a huge fan of
ship.
that.
It's kind of tough, actually.
Yeah.
A friend of the pod, Sue.
Sue? Oh, your mum.
That's my mum.
Oh, friend of the pod.
She asked me a while back, not so much in as few words, but she asked me about the medical situation on the ship. Like, what happens if someone's sick on the ship? And I guess we kind of talked about it at the start of the pod. And what happens if someone's sick? What happens if a crew member's sick? Like, where'd you go? What happens?
They kind of just scurry them away.
If someone's really sick.
Yeah, it's sort of just like, if you have to isolate, you isolate, right? But the medical centre's pretty good on a ship.
Well, yeah, but I think that's the point, right? Is that we have a fully equipped medical centre.
Yeah, it's like a little GP, and you know what? With GPs being so hard to get an appointment, if you can't get an appointment, book yourself onto a ship, mate.
And I think on our ship anyway, if a passenger needs medical attention, they have to pay for it, or their holiday insurance pays for it. But it's very expensive as well.
Right. Okay.
But as crew members, because we are, because of our immigration status, is sort of we're not really. I don't really know how it works. I think because we work on the ship and because the ship is responsible for us, they're also responsible for our health. And so we get all our medical care on the ship for free. Right. Obviously, if it gets to the point where they have to make you leave the ship and disembark you, at that point, that's just how they deal with that. But if you're ill, if you're a little bit sick, if you need medication, if you need to be diagnosed or checked or whatever, you just jump to medical when it's open. Every time, I mean, you've had a couple of weird experiences.
Well, I have. I asked for, I won't go too into it, but I asked for antibiotics or something once, and I was kind of met with a response of, well, if everyone needed antibiotics, we couldn't all give them antibiotics. I was like, yeah, I know.
You're like, but I need
But
them.
This issue, I didn't really need them, but I was asking for them because I thought I might have something that they couldn't test for. And I was like, well, if I just take the antibiotics, it's fine. Like, well, we can't give it to everyone. I was like, I know, but no one, I'm asking for them. Like, sorry, that should just be. So I did have to put up a little fight, but normally they've been really great. And actually, after we got through that, they were really nice to me after that.
I've been a couple of times, and every time it's been a quite positive experience, to be honest. You just rock up, they chat to you, they deal with whatever it is that they need to deal with, or check whatever they need to check. And yeah, they help you out. They're very, very helpful. But yeah, it's a fully equipped like hospital. There's like hospital rooms. There's a laboratory, so they can do tests and things like that.
I've pissed into a cup there.
I've pissed into a cup there. Yeah, nice. I don't know if you were here. I got my flu shot last contract.
I got my flu shot.
Yeah, they got mandatory flu shots for all the crew, which a lot of people contested, but I was just grateful to get the vaccine. So, yeah. No, we have a full medical centre on the ship that all crew have access to for free. Yeah, which is great. It's great. Yeah,
and as I say, when it's so hard to get a doctor's appointment anywhere in the world, really at the minute, it's really nice to have that. Like, well, because also the thing is as well is that ships are a bit like a petri dish. Like if an illness goes round, it can spread very quickly. So you have to be careful about it. And we're constantly washing our hands. Yeah, I don't think I've ever washed my hands so many times. It's like every time before I eat, hands. Like,
and every time I pass the hand sanitizer thing, I'm using it. Yeah, because on cruise ships it's very close quarters. Everyone, if one person gets ill, it spreads very quickly. And very easily. And so medical are really, they try to prevent stuff by making sure that everyone's washing their hands and stuff like that. But no, it's great.
It is really good, actually.
I always find it interesting when I hear another crew member grumble because they go to medical and it's closed because they have specific opening hours if you want to just go in and deal with something. But then I'm like, what, you're talking about you got to wait till like 5 o'clock? Yeah. Whereas for a GP, you could be waiting like 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Yeah, it's absolutely wild. They are very good, actually. They are very good. So I got a couple of jabs down there. I got a jab in my bum.
Bum jab.
Yeah, bum jab.
The mega jab.
I hated it.
Yeah, that was a very funny day.
Yeah, I couldn't walk. I genuinely couldn't walk. And Cameron, it was a show day, and Cameron wouldn't help me set up anything. So I was like stumbling about just because you were laughing
dragging his leg behind him on the stage.
I could not walk. Yeah, it was a fun day.
Yeah, it was a very funny day.
Mega jab day. Anywho, have you heard about the Guinness shortage?
I have, in the UK.
Yeah.
And I've seen some interviews of people being like, I think someone went, oh, do you blame Gen Z? And then it's a pub owner like, yeah, I blame Gen Z.
What's the thing, isn't it? I think Guinness is, for my generation, Gen Z, come on, Guinness is really popular, man. I fucking love it.
It is, but it's just, I've seen all these interviews with pub landlords grumbling about it is really interesting. Because I'm like, why do you care if you're selling it?
It's a good problem as well.
Like,
if you're buying a lot of your beer, it's a good problem.
It's great.
Like, I would actively say, the thing is, I'll explain the reasons why I like Guinness. For anyone wondering why Gen Z people like Guinness. Firstly, number one, it tastes absolutely fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Some people say it's not. It doesn't even taste like beer. It doesn't taste like lager. It's a stout. It tastes fantastic. It makes me a lot less bloated.
Yep.
Because there's no big bubbles in it. Then they're nano bubbles or nitro bubbles, whatever they call them. So it makes me a lot less bloated. It's not high in calories.
It's actually better for you, yeah.
It's actually better for you than almost any beer, other than Pure Blonde, not sponsored. Guinness is like ultra low in calorie. Actually, Guinness is almost the same amount of calories as White Claw.
Which is wild.
It's crazy.
Everyone thinks of Guinness as like really heavy, obviously, but
it's just not bad for you. Filled with iron, so it's sort of a bit good for you. And there's a game built into the glass.
Game built into the glass.
Split the G. Who doesn't love it?
Yeah.
I absolutely love Guinness. Got a Guinness tattoo there. We actually had a couple of pints of Guinness today.
We did, for the first time in a long time.
Very long time. On draft.
Flight Club.
Yeah. In
Melbourne.
We had a great day today.
Played some darts.
I absolutely smoked everyone.
Yeah.
I'm quite good at darts.
I'm so bad at darts.
I'm really keen.
So bad.
Like, your range is outrageous, mate. I'm so dialed in.
I was saying to Rory, a friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod, yeah.
I can't compute how to get better at darts. Like most things I can see that I'm here, I'm this bad, and to get to there I need to do this, this and this. With darts, I just don't get it.
You just dial in.
Oh, is that it then?
Yeah,
is it?
Get dialed.
Right,
Are you
cool.
dialed?
I'm not dialed, no.
The thing is, what you're trying to do,
it's
your range
right.
is all over the place.
Yeah.
What you want to do is you want to bring that in.
Oh, right. So
my range, have you noticed how every 3 darts I hit, they're all like within the same, that's my range. Kind of like a handicap, but for darts.
Right, so you're saying I've got to try and be able to put the dart where I want it to go.
Yeah. You know what you should do?
Didn't know that.
You know how you get better? Throw more darts.
I just don't enjoy it that much.
You know
Flight Club was fun because we're playing games and it's like...
So genuinely, what made me like keen at darts is there was a week where every day I went down to Crew Bar and played for an hour.
Belgium.
Yeah, but literally, I went down. Yeah, Belgium, friend of the pod, was our old tech. He was absolutely unreal at
Little
darts.
man.
Because I noticed, he was secret noodle man. He went down for an hour every day and just played, and he was absolutely amazing at darts. I was like, how do you get to do it? And he was like, I literally just come down every day for an hour. And so I had like a real ADHD, like, wow, I'm gonna
The other problem with that is that I don't want to become that person. Like, I don't want to go to Crew Bar for an hour a day and play darts on my
Maybe
own.
you go when it's quiet.
That's
Like
even
I was going at
worse.
like 1 p.m.
That's way worse.
Yeah, but I don't do it anymore, do I? I'm
Well,
quite good at
do you
darts
not?
now.
Are you
I
sure?
would. If anyone was up for a darts game, I'm on it. If you're listening and you're on a cruise, let's go play darts.
Let's do it. Yeah, so another really interesting thing that I get asked about, or not I get asked about a lot, but I'm personally very curious about, on the subject of the medical situation on the ship,
Yes.
is the morgue.
Ooh.
I
Ice cream day.
So I don't know what it is about the morgue, but I'm obsessed.
You're fascinated by it.
I'm fascinated by it. So people do die on cruise ships.
Yeah.
A lot. And actually, you hear a lot that people come on cruises to die because it's quite a cheap way to die. Like, dying apparently is quite expensive.
Also, cruise ships cheaper than retirement homes.
Yeah. Like, I think there's people that live on cruise ships for like months at a time.
Yeah.
Like the last year of their lives, they just live on a cruise ship and they
Why
die
wouldn't
on
you?
it. And obviously, there's 2,000 passengers on our ship, over 2,000, 950 odd crew. When you've got over 3,000 people living in a place, statistically, eventually someone's going to die.
Yeah.
So they need to know what to do with that body. So every cruise ship has a morgue built into it. From what I talked to one of the old doctors on the ship, our one is quite small because we're a fairly small cruise ship.
3 bodies.
Fits 3 bodies in it. It's a little, it looks like a fridge, and it's right in the middle of the M1, which is that secret underground passage. And you just walk past it every single day. And if you didn't know it was the morgue, you wouldn't know it was the morgue.
I didn't know until someone pointed it out.
It's literally like, there's a kind of cage door in front of it, but it's literally a cage like you can see through.
Yeah.
And then like the fridge, the morgue.
Big old padlock on it.
Big old padlock on the
Big
front.
padlock.
And so the fun thing is, you always know if somebody's died on the cruise because either the padlock has changed position. I always take a mental note of it when I walk past. Or if you look down, you can see if the morgue's switched on because it's not just on all the time.
Yeah.
And then,
Sometimes, if the padlock's moved, though, it is just me going in for one of my morgue wanks.
oh yeah.
Yeah, just if I get really cold.
Senior doc's like, look, I've told you once, I've told you
Yeah.
1,000 times. Get out.
It's just a joke, guys. Just a joke. Can't handle it? Don't listen to the pod.
But then there's the ice cream parties.
Yeah, the ice cream parties. So actually, this is funny. I saw Robbie, deck cadet, friend of the pod.
Friend of the pods.
He was eating right before the welcome aboard show. He was eating an ice cream. So I said, "Oh, it's that time already. More than 3." And he went, "What are you talking about?" And I told him he was blown away by that.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know at all.
That's funny. No, he's third in charge though.
He's in charge.
Um,
Yeah, so basically, if all 3 spots are filled, they need more room in the freezer, like if we're at sea or something.
So if more than 3 people on one cruise die
Yeah.
and they've not got back to land,
They have to have a little ice cream party to get rid of all the used ice cream, so they've got more room in the commercial freezer. This
So
isn't just our ship, by the way. It's like a ship-wide fact. Yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty
Or
sure.
tail.
Well, tail fact. I think I
think
do
it's a
think it's
fact.
true though.
Yeah.
So apparently, if you're a passenger on a cruise ship and there's ever an ice cream party,
Yeah.
or they give away free ice cream, or they discount massively the ice cream, it's likely that that means that more people have died on that cruise than they can fit in their morgue.
Some older cruise ships don't even have a morgue.
Just
So it's just-
overboard.
Yeah, no, so it's just if someone dies, they just go
Ice cream
straight. It's
party.
ice cream party. Yeah. How crazy.
That's interesting. That's probably where it comes from more than. We've never had an ice cream party on this ship.
No, but whenever I see someone eating ice cream, I do make that. I do tell them.
People have died though since I've been on board.
Yeah.
For sure. Don't know what
Yeah.
of, don't know why, but people have died.
Well, the thing is, when you get to an age, if you fall down a set of stairs, you're kind of cooked, aren't you?
Yeah, we talked about this. It's either when you get to the age where you have a fall,
Yeah.
you don't fall over, you have
You
a
have
fall.
a fall. Yeah. Like I
Or you
feel
don't
like
trip.
I feel like that. What age do you reckon that is?
I think it's different for everyone.
I reckon. To be fair,
But that
a couple we met,
I was gonna say.
we met a couple on a tram today. I struck up a
Melbourne.
conversation because I'm a social guy like that. And they had a suitcase. And I was like, "Oh, where are you off to?" He said, "Well, we're having a staycation. We're from Melbourne, but it's our anniversary, so we decided to stay at a hotel for a few nights." Like, that is a lovely thing
Yeah.
to do. How long have you been married for? Is it 64 years?
64 years.
I would have never known. She didn't look a day over 60.
She looked about
Yeah.
60 though, to be fair.
She
Maybe,
looked
maybe
about
mid
60.
60s. And
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fact you've been married for that number of years. And then she said, For a 62-year-old kid.
That was wild. Yeah, that blew my mind. So
She must have been at least in
80?
her mid-80s, right? Sorry, mid-70s, at least.
No, mid-80s.
62. No. Well,
18. She would have been 18. She had a kid at 18.
18.
She would have been 18.
16, but yeah.
That's wild, though, isn't it? That's crazy.
Yeah, they didn't look like that. But I reckon if they fell down the stairs,
Yeah.
they'd probably bounce back up. Well, she would. He was a bit
Yeah,
more.
he was a bit... he was a bit fragile.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, he was still fit, but he was just a bit fragile.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends
More
on the person.
Yeah. But that was wild. They're a lovely couple. You know, I don't get their names, but...
Got their Tinder profiles.
Yeah, got the grinder.
So I reckon that probably does it for this
Yeah,
pod.
that was a good part.
Yeah, we piled the content in there.
We absolutely, you got a lot, you got
lots
a
of
bang for your buck.
facts.
Yeah, believe me, there'll be a lot of clips in this
Oh,
episode
yeah.
for Cameron to edit. Do you want another pickle before we finish this off?
A pickle?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to. I actually didn't enjoy that pickle that much. It's not pickly enough. I like my pickles to be really pickly.
Mate, what the fuck am I going to do with this many pickles?
Eat
I'm
them.
not going to eat them. I bought this for the brine. I looked at a jar, I was like, what's got the most amount of brine? I might just hide them.
Just chuck the pickles.
Just flush them down the toilet. No, you
No,
can't
don't
do
do
that.
that. Imagine, can you imagine if they came and unblocked your toilet, just a bunch of pickles?
No, I could do. I could pop them in my blender first.
That's not a bad idea.
Blend them, then
Oh.
pop them down the toilet.
We're gonna. Okay.
Drink it.
I don't know. Anyway, thanks for listening to our podcast. We, again, are doing this every week while we're on the ship. And if you have any other questions, pop them in the comments, fire us a message on Instagram, TikTok. We are Shipmates Pod on both. Slightly different spellings, but you'll find it. It's 2024. Or fire us, either of us a message separately.
Yeah, if you have any questions about anything, fire us a message on the Instagram. Is that what you just
Sorry,
said?
is there an echo in here? Or
Is that literally what you said?
Word
I
for
thought you were
word.
telling us to follow.
Yeah.
You can leave a comment on Spotify. You can also leave a comment on YouTube. Tell us what you think of the podcast if you're listening.
Yeah.
If you've made it this far into the pod, comment Pickleback.
Pickleback.
Comment Pickleback so we know you're listening.
Please.
And
We'll see you next week for
Yeah.
the
Christmas
special!